It's the 21st of February and my Hotbin composter has arrived, so I'm really excited. I've wanted one of these for ages, so today I'm going to do an unboxing and hopefully even make a start on setting it up. Hello everyone and welcome back, and if we've not met before, I'm Susan, and on this channel we're all about learning how to grow food, how to cook creatively and from scratch, and how to find different ways of saving a little money along the way. And since I started growing veg, I've been really interested and wanting to make more of my own compost. So I use the no-dig method of gardening, so I buy a lot of compost in gardening season, and it's one of the things that takes away from the money saving aspect of growing your own veg. So I've done really well at making compost, but it takes so long, and waiting a year for one Dalek style bit of compost is a very long time, and it doesn't make a hit really in the amount of compost that I need to grow veg. So I've really wanted to do this hot composting, but I'm in a small garden here with limited space and really blustery coastal weather, so I'm already up against it in a lot of ways, but we do get it done. And a few years ago I was watching the Chelsea Flower Show and I saw that this contraption called a Hotbin Composter had won some awards, I think. There it was certainly highlighted there, and ever since I've been dreaming of this hot composter. Now everything looks good about this composter other than the price, and I just got mine on sale, which was £180, but it can cost over £200 and sometimes more than that depending on where you're living. And I'm a great believer in supporting small suppliers, and I have no doubt that it took a long time to develop this thing, but nonetheless, for those of us who are trying to save a little money, there is a cost. So here's my philosophy on this kind of thing. What I try to do is to buy something good that will last when I'm buying things, so I don't mind paying more if I think it's going to work. But nonetheless, this composter is a bit of a risk. I think there's quite a lot of work to make sure you get it right. You do need a certain amount of garden waste to keep it fed so the temperatures stay up, so I'm hoping my small garden will give enough. I'm hoping that the fact that I'm in salter air won't cause any kind of problems for the microorganisms when they're digesting the materials, and I'm also hoping that the salt air doesn't degrade the outside of the materials that this thing is made of. It's made of the same thing that some car bumpers are made of, so I'm optimistic that it will be strong enough, but only time will tell. And this is not a sponsored video. I've bought this from my own money, so these are my own opinions and my own mistakes, and whatever I do wrong is probably nothing to do with the product itself. It's more me being a beginner and learning how to do this new method. So what I'm going to do today is just do a simple unboxing and see if I can work out where to locate it in the garden, and then in the next video I will be starting to fill the composter. And what I'm intending to do is to do some revisits through the year and see how I get on. So if you want to have some fun and see me, no doubt, not getting it set up properly and not being able to get it to temperature and learning the lessons with me as we go, please subscribe and follow me on the journey. So what I'm aiming for is to really master the hot composting method so that I can harvest compost really regularly and save myself from buying constantly bags of compost or a big giant ton bag of compost ready for my veg season. And if it does work, then I will break even. If it doesn't work because of our weather conditions here or me just not being competent enough to get it done, then it's going to be a huge amount of money I've invested. But I'm sure I'll be able to sell it because there's lots of people really interested in hotbin composting. But in the meantime, I can't wait to get this going. So let's get the unboxing done and get it at least placed in the garden by the end of the day, because we have actually got the sun out for once, even though it's still really cold. Let's see what's inside. Better read the instructions. Okay, so I'm looking at the checklist from inside the hot bin, and the start is there should be a lid thermometer positioned in the raised panel of the lid. That's that, all present and correct. And then there should also be an aeration valve in the lid. That's this here, it's got open and close at the top. I'm just going to give it a little, oh I see. Oh, there we go, really easy actually. Just open it and close it like that. So it says it should look barely open, so let's just put that there. And then under this panel there's a filter, and I can just about see it. Let's see if I can get in to show you. Okay, so inside the box we've got some stuff to explore down here, so let's see what's inside here. This hinged lid is so noisy. I really hope that is just because it's new. So that's it, that's the whole thing. Now let me show you what was inside. Ugh! Something is going to have to be done about that squeak. If you've already got one of these and you've tackled the squeak, can you let me know how to do it in the comments? Because it's really loud and I don't want to be annoying my neighbours every time I open the lid. Okay, so here's what the hot bin came with. We've got this 25 litre bag of bulking agent, which is basically, I think, just partially composted wood chip, which helps keep the air in the compost to help keep everything alive and happy. Then we've got this poke-in stir-in stick to be using and giving everything a good stir and aerate. And we've got the other thermometer. These are the straps, so these webbing straps go around the outside to give it extra strength, so I should be getting those on as the next step. A nice little user guide, which I'm going to go indoors and have a cup of tea and read that in a minute. And then the kickstart bottle, which is basically used to fill with boiling water and get things going again if it's very cold in winter or if you've been away and the temperature's gone too low. So that's what's in the box, and now I'm going to go inside, get a cup of tea and read the quick start guide. Okay, so after a lot of faffing about, I've decided on my first kind of place to set this up and how to stand it. So what I've done is I've got it set on one set of paving stones, and that's partly to keep it out of the water when we get our floods here, and one extra layer just to raise that height a bit so that I can open the tap here without much trouble and get something underneath it to collect all of that lovely plant food and save myself a bit of money. So I guess we'll see how well this works in the first season, and I've no idea, I've never used one of these things before, so I'm going to do a little bit more research before I completely finish setting this up and put all of my plant material in there, because there'll be no going back then. But I think this is going to be it. So that's my unboxing done, and the hot bin is all set up and hopefully ready to go. Super easy to set up. The only faffing about I had was about where to site it, so that's probably a good thing to think about if you're getting one. So I'm now going to do a little bit more research and see if there's anything else I need to take into account before I start putting in some materials from my old compost bin and try and get this thing started. So if you want to follow me on the journey and see what sort of compost this does produce and how much, please subscribe, and I'll be back next week with another video. So I'll see you next time.